Alright guys, I know I haven't made a video in a long time, and I apologize for that. When you're an advisor, a consultant, an executive, an associate, whatever it is that you call yourself, and you have business, not only your book of business that you've already closed, but you're generating leads on a daily basis, it gets to get pretty difficult to get in touch with people that will want to get in touch with you, that want to learn about the business, or that just wants to touch base with you, whatever it may be. So on behalf of myself, I want to apologize about not being able to get in touch with people actually for a little bit now, because I've been very busy. I've recently invested a decent amount of cash into marketing, and I've been able to accumulate a lot of leads, and which have been taking up a lot of my time. When you're in the finance industry, business finance, I always got to make that clear. When you're in the business finance industry, whether you're in the underwriting process or you're the liaison, I guess I could say, from the company and the products, or the company and the business owner, you are the one that is not only the first point of contact, but you're explaining that particular financing option. You're matching the borrower with a loan type product that best fits their business. Okay, you know what I mean. So you're not gonna fit a merchant cash advance with the construction company down the street. That's not the first option that you'll think about, right? So it takes a lot of talking. It takes a lot of time, a lot of research, and when you invest money into all of everything that you do, you don't want to lose money. So every lead that comes into me, I paid for that, so I don't want to miss that opportunity. So I just want to apologize for anybody that may feel as though that I haven't been available to them, or I just been non-existent for a little bit. It's because I'm working, guys. It's 2020 is literally like what, two and a half weeks away, and we're on the verge of a new year here, and I don't know about you, but I don't have time to be one of those people that's, what's your New Year's resolution? I want to make this amount of money, I want to do this, I want to change locations, I want to all this stuff. I don't want to talk about it, I want to be about it. And you have to sometimes shut yourself out from individuals. If you notice, I don't upload on YouTube like that. I don't really, that's not really my thing, because I don't make money off of YouTube. I don't make money off of comments. I don't make money off of nothing, none of that stuff. And everything that I do is from the core of myself. Like, I do everything here in-house. And I don't have a team of individuals that can help me and all. No, I do everything here. And yeah, it gets crazy. But I just wanted to say that real quick to anybody that's been trying to get in contact with me via email, via phone, text, all that. My apologies. Now, I want to talk with you about the 4 different types of customers. I'm not sure I've ever said anything like this on this channel, and I believe that this is perfect for those that are in sales. Even if you're in customer service, I do believe that this can still help you, not just in your collecting documents or collecting information, but just for your knowledge alone, just for something to know, just to spark the brain, so what type of customer you're dealing with, so which angle you can go. Excuse me. Definitely for all the salespeople out there, all of my salespeople, you can comment below, and you can, like below, like this video. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've been in the industry for like less than a year. Everything that I'm about to say is straight legit, okay? And I'm not talking about someone that's in collections. Someone told me, well, we transfer our leads to the sales department for them to close, and they collect the payments, and that's it. And I'm like, that's not sales, like, that's collections. And it's a difference. Like, people think that selling is just closing the deal. It's not just closing the deal. We're doing the service of the customer too. We're not just closing deals. You know what I mean? Like, you got to warm up the customer. You have to, understand their needs. You have to fit your product with them, not, just trying to force them into buying something, right? So you have to create that tunnel to know, okay, is it value or is it price, right? So in all of the conversation, if that's the case, if you're just closing a deal, that'll take like 7 minutes sometimes. You send an invoice and stuff like that. That'll take, matter of fact, less than that, to be honest. Like, if the business owner is right there on the phone ready to sign and they've already read it and this, that, and the third, that takes like 3 minutes. So I call it collections. When you're just collecting payment, that's the collections. Like, you're a collections representative. It's not a sell because you didn't sell them anything. Somebody already did all that work for you. So the salesperson does everything. Like, they do it all. When you're just a true sales, from the first point of contact to the research before you even contact them. That's prospecting to the core, which is a lost art these days. And then setting up that appointment, okay? Getting a booking agent or something like that, a software system or whatever, or you do your own appointments, right? And then it goes from the introductory call, right? And then into the, as they say, meat and potatoes, of the product, the service, who you are, blah, 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 all of that stuff, right? And then you're getting to know them. They're telling you about this and what their needs is. Now you're making the comparison, okay? To all the way transitioning over into, okay, what's holding you back from making this transition from hoping and wishing and thinking and that type of mentality to let's get it going, let's make this official, all right, let's sign this contract, let's close the deal, let's pull out this credit card and let's make this payment, right? So there are 4 types of customers, okay? Now I wrote it down, but I'm gonna see if I can remember it. If not, I'm probably just gonna do what I'm doing right now and like reach over and just grab it just to see if I'm, on my P's and Q's with this. But there are 4 type of customers. The first customer is the main customer. Believe it or not, okay, some people do not want to deal with this customer. Not just because maybe your product is high or anything like that, but the first customer is the cheap customer, all right? I'm not being disrespectful to anybody, okay? But there are times where all of us, including myself, are cheap. There's never a time when someone is going to be like, I'm paying $1,000 for a broom. Like, come on, unless this broom can take me to heaven, then I don't know when I'm paying that much money for it. So we cheaping out on the broom. We spend like $5 on the broom. Like, it's no point. You know what I mean? Like, but what is a cheap customer? A cheap customer is someone like 2 to 5 minutes into the not even 5 minutes. I say about 2 minutes into the conversation, they're asking you what the price is. That is a cheap customer because their main objective is cash, in which they probably don't have it. So they don't want to waste their time, okay, and they don't want to waste yours, or you don't want to waste yours. So they're like, well, what's the price, right? There are ways that you can answer that without answering that, okay, but answering that at the same time, okay? I'm not going to get into that in this video, but I just want to just have a quick, idea of what the cheap customer is. So if you work for, say, ABC and Family, Anthony and Associates, whatever, right? How you doing? This is Anthony and Associates, and I actually was searching online, and I see that you need, help with your, growth online or whatever it is. How you doing? My name is Anthony. It's Anthony and Associates, and I'm just trying to see if you need, working capital for your place of business, whatever. Now I wouldn't say it like that, but I'm just trying to get past that, whatever, right? The introductory, right? And they say, you know what, Anthony, I actually do need financing, but I actually do have, I'm working with, 2 different, companies. I'm trying to pay them off. I don't really know, if I can get another one, this, that, and the third, So you go into the conversation. But if I actually was selling a product to someone that was needed, say I was selling like leads to a company or something like that, right? And the investment was like $1,000 or $1,500 or $3,000, whatever it may be, right? Immediately, I'm telling them about their online business. I'm telling them how I can get them leads and all that. I mean, these days everybody's doing that, right? So they say, what's the price? Because they're like, well, it's no point in getting into this conversation if I can afford it, right? But Later on in the conversation, you know, if you're able to get around that conversation and understand their needs, you get to understand that it's not the price, it's the value. You know, it's the value of what I can provide. It's the value of how this can help your business versus the price. You know what I mean? You know? Like, I know someone that'll literally spend like $15,000 or more on a funeral when they probably could have spent like $4,000 on it. But it's not the money. It's the value of the presentation of how everything is set up. They want this person to be sent out, you know, out of, you know, they're already, you know, gone, but the presentation of the funeral, you know, they want everything to look smooth, look nice, everything to go great. You know, they'll spend more money. It's not about the money. It's the value of the funeral home. It's the value of how they look at this. Like, hey, my uncle just passed, and I am not going to let them just throw him in a box and throw him in the ground. No, we're going to do this the right way. We're going to do this the way he wants to go out. You know what I mean? So in certain cases, you know, someone asks price, it's just like when you stay in that conversation with them, you begin to realize that it's more or less than price. It's more so a value. Because think about it, people, they've been screwed over before, okay? They've been screwed over. So that's what's the price? What's the price, right? So that's the first, or I say the first kind of customer sometimes. The second type that you deal with is the difficult customer. Okay, now the difficult customer is very demanding. They're very ignorant at times, and they actually take their problems out on you. 9 times out of 10, if you're in customer service, you're selling medical devices, or you work for a medical company, you're just in customer service, period. Doesn't matter what field you're in. That's the customer you're going to be dealing with. Very difficult, okay? Sometimes it's the receptionist, sometimes it's the marketing team, sometimes it's retention, sometimes it's the initial sales person, it's the manager, CEO, CFO, whoever you have to talk to, okay, that makes the decisions based on whatever it is that you need. You're going to deal with a difficult customer. Okay, so again, they're very demanding, they're very ignorant. So how do you do that is you basically beat them with kindness. Like, they're going to be upset, period, okay? You can't help them change what happened to them, but you can help them change their attitude based on how you talk to them. Interesting, right? So if I call someone and they're abrupt, they're very loud, and they're just like, now, I'm not disrespectful. Just because you're loud does not mean you're rude. I know people that talk loud, okay? What I mean is, you call them like, how you doing? This is John. And like, how you doing, John? This is Anthony and Associates. And I just, why are you calling? You know what? I'm so sick and tired of you people. I'm done. I don't have time. You see what I'm saying? They're taking out every call that they've had the last 3 years on you, right? So, that is the second. I'm not going to get deep into it, but that's just the second, you know, type of customer. And those are the main customers that you normally deal with, okay? Now, the other side of this is what is called the third type of customer is what is called the sophisticated customer. Now, the sophisticated customer is the customer that they did their research, okay? They did their due diligence. You're a car salesman, right? The guy's roaming around the lot, and he's looking around, and you say, how you doing? My name is John. If you need anything, let me know. And they're like, okay, how you doing, John? Well, you know, my name is Brandon, and I'm actually looking for, they tell you the make, the model, the color, gas mileage. I mean, they know everything, you know, and I did some research, you know, Brandon says, you know, I did some research on the company, and you guys are really good at, you know, you guys got really great customer service reviews, and this and that. He knows what he wants. That's a sophisticated, more educated customer. You know, those are good customers, actually, great customers, easy to close, because they already did their due diligence. But I want to tell you how you can lose a sophisticated customer. When you treat a sophisticated customer like they're a cheap customer, or you treat the sophisticated customer like they're the difficult customer, what people tend to do sometimes is they get off of one call with a difficult customer, and now they're talking to a sophisticated customer, and they treat that sophisticated customer and speaking in a demanding and ignorant way to that sophisticated customer. That sophisticated customer is probably an introvert. An introvert is someone that's kind of like to themselves. They're a thinker. They're observant. Okay, they're aware. They study. They're in the books. They're not quiet. They're observant. So they know everything, right? They know more than what you may think they may know. Okay, you can lose them based on your tonality of how you approach them. That's how you lose them. In if that person is a sophisticated customer. Okay. Now, the fourth kind of customer is what is called the affluent. Now, the affluent the affluent is the customer that buys based on feelings. Okay, they buy based on feelings. For example, let's just say you're a car salesman, right? You're a car salesman for BMW, Lexus, whatever, right? And it's a real luxury brand. Say Tesla, for example, right? Tesla's a really gorgeous car, right? Lamborghinis or whatever. And someone that's rich walks up in there, he makes 10 million a year. He knows he can afford it. He's not gonna be cheap. He's definitely not gonna be difficult. Even if he's not sophisticated, he has the money. He doesn't care. He buys on his feelings of how he feels. He buys on probably maybe a couple of percentage of horsepower of the car, maybe of the color of it and the design, but how he feels when he gets in that car, right? How he feels. Money is of no issue to him. It's how he feels. So it's like, say, Chris Brown and say P. Diddy or, someone that's rich. They don't necessarily buy because they're sophisticated. Not to say that they're not to say that they're not educated. But when you're rich, why do you think that they have like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars in their lot, right? Because they buy on feelings. There's no way in the world you're going to be sophisticated in buying that many cars, right? No, you're going to buy on feeling because you're like, well, I want a truck. I want a sedan. I want a car. I want something that's fast, more sporty. I want something that's, good with the tires and I can go up hills on a mountain, this, that, and the third. Some people are a Chevrolet person. Some people are a Jeep person. So they buy on feelings. These are the most easiest people to close because they're really happy, they're really upbeat, they're really excited. They kind of know what they want, and even if they don't, they buy on feelings. So you walk them through the sales floor, and they're feeling stuff, they're touching stuff, right? And it just feels good to them, right? So they buy based on their feelings of how they feel. You know what I mean? But you can also lose this one too because you can make them feel like this isn't it. Let them decide what it is that they want, because if they're buying on feelings and you kind of picked up on that, guess what? They're gonna buy. They're gonna buy that. All you have to do is just be a little bit more informational about each product, each merchandise, each car, and what they have. Step back and let them sell it back to you. Okay, let them observe, let them feel, let them start the car, right? Push the button and let them sit down in a seat and feel it, right? They buy on feelings. So if you're on a phone call and you're selling a product and they feel good talking to you, you're an honest individual, you're thorough, right? You're showing empathy, you know what I mean? You're making that connection to value. It's not about price anymore, okay? You can throw that away. It's about value. And they feel that they're feeling good about you. They're going to buy. So, first type of customer, cheap. Always asking for price. Not to be disrespectful, but we all deal with that, okay? It doesn't matter what you do. Even if you're not selling anything, if you're just in customer service, you're going to deal with that type of customer. 2, difficult, very demanding, ignorant. They're taking out their problems on you. Again, if you're in customer service, you're in sales, you're going to be dealing with this, okay? Even if you're in retention, right? Initial sales, you're going to be dealing with this, okay? Sophisticated. If sophisticated buyers or customers, they are investors, right? They already know the land they're going to buy. They already know the percentage that they're going to put into it, okay? They are educated. They did their due diligence already. They did their research. They know all about whatever it is, and they want what they want, all right? And last but not least, the affluent. The person that buys on feelings. If it feels good, that's it. They don't care what it is. They like it. They're gonna buy it. It makes them feel good. It's kind of like, say, someone in their 60s. They always wanted to own a Mustang. They just got their retirement check or their first retirement check. They've been working 40 years for this big manufacturing company, and now they getting all this money every month. So now what are they gonna do? They go on to that dealership and they're gonna buy that Mustang. Why? Because it feels good. They always wanted it. They can afford it. They can buy it straight like that. So I just want to talk with you guys about that. My apologies for it being over 20 minutes, but this isn't something that you can kind of just throw into maybe 5 minutes, of a video. Again, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I do hope that this has helped you in just some way. I will be posting more videos later on within the next coming weeks. Again, I am busy. I do apologize if I have not been able to get in touch with a few people. But I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Take care. And as always, God bless you. Talk to you soon.